Okay, Grixis Control, Grixis Dragons, Grixis that's gonna love Kolaghan's Command that's hopefully getting spoiled later today. This is basically red-black with a small blue splash for some Nicol Bolases here as card advantage and a closing power. I think Bolas the Ravager is actually just a really good card in this format. The 4/4 stat line that takes a card out of their hand when it comes into play means you basically always 2-for-1 your opponent. The body is very relevant against things like Gruul and other creature decks when it comes to blocking, and curving 4/4 into 4/4 lets you close games out relatively quickly. And this is a dragon, so you can like play Bolas the Ravager to stabilize the board a little bit. And you could follow it up with Crux of Fate the next turn to destroy all non-dragons, which lets you go on the offensive really, really nicely here. Something I always like to point out, and you'll notice this in the Sultai Planeswalker deck I've played too, is that in more controlling decks, you'll note that I favor Inquisition of Kozilek in the main deck. And the reason for this is this deck's Gruul matchup and aggressive deck matchup is much harder than its control deck matchup. And Inquisition, as my discard spell of choice, hedges the aggressive matchups because not hammering my life total in the aggressive matchup means I'm more likely to come out ahead. You'll note that I do have 4 copies of Thoughtseize in the 75 because when Thoughtseize is good, it's great. You want to bring in the extras. But in the main, I'd like to hedge and respect aggressive decks more because I have all this top end to keep up with control already in the main deck. So let's go ahead and dive into some games with this. We've played this deck a few times at this point. This list is pretty well stabilized. It's going to get Kolaghan's Command when that gets added in the Historic Anthology, but otherwise I like the list a lot. I'm loving the Bioshock content. Are you thinking of playing Bioshock 2? I'm not. Looking at feedback from other people and reading some stuff online, Bioshock 2 seems like it's less well received than the others. And that from a story perspective, it's not particularly great. So I'm planning to do Bioshock Infinite Buried at Sea Part 2 this afternoon. We're going to probably play through that in one slightly longer variety sitting, but then I'm going to move on to something else. We're going to be doing Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation next, I think. Is this my list or a submission? Why does that matter? Like, I don't understand. People always, like, that's a question people ask all the time, and, like, what does me answering yes or no to that question do for you as a viewer? Can you help me understand why you care? We just swap Kolaghan's for Prismari Command? Maybe. Honestly, I think you might even want 4 Kolaghan's Command. The card's really good. Your list but I fix the mana bases, chat. When people send in viewer submissions, I adjust the mana. So like saying, I want to know if it's your list because of the mana base isn't relevant here because I adjust the mana bases. That's not a relevant thing. TM6 Life, thanks for the prime. What's TM6? You gotta tell me. Does TM, I guess it just says TM6 refer to Technical Machine 6 from the Pokemon? If so, I don't recall what TM6 is. Yes, the opponent is playing Neoform combo, chat. It's just not a good question to ask. Yeah, because like I build decks all of the time. TM6 is toxic. What a perfect Twitch chat username. TM6 Life, TM6 is toxic. That's fantastic. Caseyman, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. I appreciate the prime. Username is great. I appreciate the support. Why do I care? If other people care, it doesn't impact me, right? Because I'm trying to teach people things here, Blitzer. And one of the things about being a good teacher isn't just answering questions, it's helping people understand what are the right questions to ask So like, yeah, I could like just answer the question, but trying, one, understanding why someone's asking the question they're asking helps me answer the question in a better way, and then helping me understand why they're asking what it is. Yeah, it also is to discourage people from asking questions that are a waste of time, and help people understand that questions like that are, in fact, a waste of time. So why do I care? I care because it's relevant, because you're taking my time, and you might be taking my time to ask a question that's not useful and helpful. So extra discard spells here against the combo deck. I think we want the sweepers here, right? For games like that where they kind of go wide a little bit. So you're saying there are stupid questions. So it's not so much that there are stupid questions, so much as people don't always ask the question that gives them the answer that they're looking for, or that people aren't asking a question that answers what they're looking to answer. So asking, what do you want to know by asking that question helps me understand, is that the right question that they should be asking to get the answer they're looking for? So it's not that questions are bad or stupid. It's more so that people don't understand that, like, I want to get to A and I'm asking B, but B gets me to D. And like, how do I get to the actual thing that I'm looking to understand? All right. I think I'm boarded how I want to be boarded. Yeah, it's like knowing what to Google, right? I think we mulligan hands that don't have discard spells on 7. Well, there could be an argument to keeping Bonecrusher Giant. Yeah, this is better. I do miss playing in paper Magic events on occasion. I don't think I'd ever go back to, like, traveling every weekend like I used to, but, you know, post-pandemic, when things start popping back up in terms of paper tournaments, I'll probably play a few per year. I'm really looking forward to going to Gen Con again. If TwitchCon happens later this year and COVID metrics keep heading in a positive direction, I'm probably going to go to TwitchCon in the fall. I am not planning to go to Gen Con in September. I think that's probably a little bit too soon. Also, like, September is going to be when, like, my kids are getting ready to go back to school, and I don't want to do something else like Gen Con on top of sending the kids back to school. So that's going to be a big change for them. Because, like, Declan's never been to public school. This year was kindergarten. He was learning remotely, and Jake only went for 1 year. I mean, can it just be about credit? It's like saying, why do you care is, why are you naming the plaque next to a piece of art? Magic players and deck building, it is so fucking wild. Magic players are so full of themselves, card game players, that you could compare building a deck of Magic cards to making a piece of art. Those two things aren't remotely similar. And part of the reason why I ask, why do you care, too, is because the concept of deck ownership is shit nonsense that people who are thirsty for validation get to pine on about. It's so, people are so desperate. Like, this is mine. I created this. There's no way that another Magic player could figure out what my gigantic brain has figured out. I put these digital pieces of cardboard together, chat. You don't get credit. It was me. I did it. Like, good golly. There are a finite number of playable cards in Magic. And I promise you that whatever you came up and figured out, 100 other people have come up with and figured out before. Like, it's really, you're not special, you're not unique. Your deck, someone else already, the Simpsons already did it, chat. Speaking of, I think we've died. I decided to cast this as opposed to Inquisitioning them, which I think was correct in the moment, but sometimes you lose after making a good decision. My opponent had no spells in hand, cast 0 cantrips, and drew runner-runner combo pieces. It's just how it goes sometimes. They might have hid them with Brainstorm. They literally didn't. Did they cast Brainstorm in response to my discard spells? Maybe they did. That rant on its own filled my quota for being entertained for the day. Thanks, I try. I don't know that I'd cut Mindstone. Mindstone tends to be very good in a lot of different spots. I don't know, I have to sit down and think about how exactly I want to fit K Command in. Four might be too many. So for people that haven't seen the opponent's deck, maybe I should have let them click out that first one. They Seagate Stormcaller into Neo form, and then that puts 18 to 20 power into play and gives them haste and attacks with it. For people that haven't seen the opponent's archetype before. Yeah, plus they take an extra combat tip. Yeah, the opponent's archetype is on my website under the meme category. It is not super consistent and it tends to fall apart to disruption, so it's not super popular, but it is reasonable. I don't have any more disruption, but we've got pressure into pressure. I wanted to share my favorite moment in Magic. Years ago, I decided to build Teamwork Blue Moon deck from your website. There was a Miser copy of Boomerang in it, and in a tournament, my opponent Summoner's Pact to put a Baloth into play on 4, and I boomeranged their land, and the look of shock brought me joy. Yeah, boomeranging lands it's a way of life. It's truly an experience. We are almost at a point where I'd be comfortable dyeing my hair again. Although I also don't have that much hair to dye, chat, so it's kind of a tough order. Even less hair than last time we did that. Billy Zane, thanks for the 26 months. Welcome back. Although I suppose I could let the beard grow out a little bit more. I'm rocking the neck beard at the moment. We could just let it poof out a little bit, do that upright. I love Oreo. Thanks for the 27 months. Welcome back. We clean shave your head and Sharpie color it. Christy really doesn't want me to shave my head. I've actually never had a really long beard, so I'm not sure what kind of commitment that is to make happen. All right, this Chandra is gonna find a Thoughtseize on top of our deck, and it's gonna be great.
It's my turn.
Damn it, Chandra.
Today's my lucky day.
Am I dead yet? It's a lot more work than you think. I mean, I've had long hair before. Like I've had like 14 to 16 inches of hair on the top of my head, like shoulder length hair. I can't imagine it's much more difficult than that. I guess it's probably more unruly while you're eating. We could be dead here. They have like an expansion. Or just a combat celebrant, sure. I think I just go up with this, because even if they trade here, I still kill them next turn, right? Yeah, Glorybringer kills them this turn. I could find a discard spell too. So I think I push up here, because we have cards that could disrupt or kill them.
This is gonna hurt.
This doesn't untap itself, right? Untap other creatures you control. You can't say you had long hair and then not show a picture. All right, I put this one on screen before. Where is it? Regulars to the stream have seen this one before. This is Jeff circa 17, so almost a decade and a half ago. I think we just passed now, right? Are we supposed to Bolas and take a card out of their hand? Let's take a card out of their hand. It is pre-dad bod Jeff. The Jeff in that picture is still 6 foot tall, but he's 170, 165 pounds. We were real trim as a teenager. Jeff, I'll have you know I own an NFT of this Grixis deck, so you'll have to credit me in the stream title. I own an NFT of this Grixis deck. Ooh, that's great. Oh yeah, we should pull the, where's the pink hair, Jeff? Oh, it's right there actually. Okay, so I'm the standard Johto version of Jeff. This is what a low-end Jeff Hoagland would look like. For people that haven't seen that. We did this. This was a while ago too at this point. This was March 2nd, 2019, so over 2 years ago now. Where that emoticon in chat came from. Do the stats change? Yeah. That was the NRG event in Bloomington. It was. Alright, I'm just gonna take a Thieves Guild Enforcer here, I think. Is Owl Jeff the Galarian version? Asking the real questions. I am not a part of Tempo Storm. We could not reach agreeable contract terms and we parted ways. They wanted me to run 6 minutes of Twitch advertisements per hour on my Twitch stream. And I told them that was unacceptable. So we parted ways. So, Hilarious, thank you for the 31 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It is a lot of ads. Some small amount is fine, but 10% is a lot. The Anthology previews have been going up about an hour from now. Usually 11 to 11:30 Central Time. Sure, yeah, subs don't see ads regardless, but like, believe it or not, a majority of the people that watch on Twitch aren't subscribed. F off, Blitzer. Get out of here. I don't need you. Listen, Blitzer, this isn't an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Wah, Jeff said something I said was stupid because it was. Get over yourself. Sorry that you think deck ownership is important. Take your thirstiness and go somewhere that cares. Yeah, they were timed out too, so they waited 10 minutes to come back and announce their departure. Like, come on, get over yourself. It's for the 18 months. Do people like that yell at their TV? When like, we're like, man, the Fox News came on. Fuck you, Fox News, I hate you. Okay, maybe I would yell at the TV if Fox News came on. But like, imagine a reasonable TV show comes on that you don't like. And like, you're like, do you yell at the TV when the TV show comes on that you don't like? Or do you just like change the channel and go watch something else? Can I announce your arrival? You definitely can, Space. Thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. Flatimus, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Those are people like that, chat. You just witnessed the birth of a new angry Redditor, is what you witnessed there. When that person goes and writes their dissertation about how Jeff Hoagland wronged them because he told them their idea of deck ownership was silly. You could say you were here. You were there at that moment when that Redditor was born. Man, I messed up and should have escaped my cling right away, huh? It's a pretty big mistake. Thanks for the biddies, Coons. Thanks for the tier 3, Boston. I feel a bit attacked. I spent a good amount of time in quarantine yelling at the TV, even if it wasn't on. Ooh. Also, like the thing that gets me, like that person, the person that I just banned for announcing their departure, where were they? What was their, how long had they been here? They had a training sword, right? They've been following my channel since May of 2016. They've been following my channel for 5 years. How do you make it to 5 years? And like not how do you get that far and not know like what, like for people that are new, like it doesn't surprise me when like people that are new like are like shocked and appalled that I manage my channel the way that they do, because like it's different than a lot of other stuff. But like subbed for 2/3 of a year and following for 5 years. Nice fatal pushes, opponent. Fatal pushes. It is a really good copy pasta. They definitely have given birth to a new copy pasta. Oh, by the way, this deck stuffs rogues, chat. Thanks for the follow, Gerbrit. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Third, Cling to Dust is great here. Shadow's Verdict is great. Abrade is good. Heartless Act is good. Like, obviously no matchup is unlosable, but this deck's definitely felt good against rogues every time we've played it. Do we I want Inquisition in this matchup? I probably do, right? Poking through Drowns and Memory Lapses is good. Probably want to trim something on my top end. 5 sweepers is probably a lot. 4 sweepers probably a lot. Maybe I trim one of these. I like Dragon God more than Torch of Defiance. Give this a go. Yeah, K-Command pickup Bonecrusher is going to be good. K-Command picking up all of our cards is going to be great, honestly. Yeah, maybe, Pats. The big brain clip there really is a work of art, chat. Really is a work of art. The water method. Good afternoon. Sorry, I was rewatching that clip there really quick just to see what got captured. It was art. Art was captured, chat. Listen, I can't let my years of community theater during high school and undergrad go to waste. Yeah, I deserve credit for that art. Only my big brain could come up with that particular piece of artwork. I think I hold on to this for now to try and generate a double spell turn. Be daft, thanks for the Prime support. And there's a ton of great people you can support every single month here on Twitch with that. Thanks for sending it this way this month. Welcome to the channel. BT Dubs, I don't have an event page up yet. Hopefully we'll have it up later today or tomorrow. But for those of you that are interested in playing or watching in the Hoaglandia Opens, we're about 2 weeks away, May 30th. So shortly after the next historic anthology releases, we'll be showing off cards here with people battling it out. Peak magic. Miss my land drop. Opponent mills 2 lands. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his deck list? No, says the man on Twitch. We've been playing BioShock in the afternoon recently, eh? It's been good social commentary. I actually want to Abrade this one, because it's the one that's putting cards in my bin, eventually cantrips. Would I kindly time you out? I mean, I'm obligated to. One of the two failed draws. It depends on, like, what pressure my opponent puts into play. Like, they're not really killing us here. And, like, if they, like, draw Luris, I get to Inquisition the cat, right? So, I think it more depends. It depends on, like, what my opponent does in addition to what I do. Almost to 99, Sunback. Almost to 99. Oh no, did our opponent disconnect? That would be sad. I think our opponent's disconnected. The timeouts in Hoaglandia are so powerful, our opponent timed out in this match. Little Clutch, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Sad, I was hoping to finish the match out. This deck usually plays good matches against Rogues. We have a lot of good interaction. Second-hand timeout exposure. And listen, chat, if you want to secure yourself at home from secondhand timeout exposure, be sure to check out our stream sponsor, ExpressVPN, to secure your connection at all times. You can also give yourself access to things in parts of the world on the internet that you wouldn't normally have access to, like different streaming services that have content locked behind various regions. You can get 3 extra months for free, along with a 30-day money-back guarantee if you check out the bit.ly link there in chat for them. The context shill is always you gotta work them in. You gotta work them in where they're at. We're waiting for our opponent to timeout anyways. Might as well get him in. A plus shilling. Thanks for the 34 months, Steve Flugger. Welcome back. Get you that sword back too. Digo Fraga, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. What deck are we playing after this one? Are we gonna hit Mythic today by mistake? We're playing Dead Guy Ale after this. We might hit Mythic today if we have a decent run. Grixis and Dead Guy Ale are both really good. Both very reasonable. don't know, Huevos. I feel like it's tough for a deck with a curve as high as this one to really be super strong. Like, I like our deck and it's reasonably competitive, but like, you're just gonna have a certain number of draws that are clunky because you have so many 4+ mana spells. And it has so many parallels to Twin and Modern Precipice. I have not played games with the Johnny and Dead Guy Ale yet, but we're gonna try it today. And if it feels good today, we'll get it added up on the site. Hey, nice, Stone, congrats. Second red source here is excellent for my ladies in hand. Any sort of Reanimator will be playable after HA5. I think Dragon Reanimator is already pretty playable, the Velocomist decks. We're gonna need to wait and see what happens with the release, with the spoilers today. Like, there's a chance we get Elishnorn and or Jin Gitaxis, and if either of those happen, we're definitely, if either of those happen, Reanimator is definitely gonna be a thing, potentially. Definitely, potentially. Tempest, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream today. I actually think Dead Guy has a pretty reasonable blue-white matchup, Lucas. I think that's part of the appeal of the archetype. Well, so we got super punished for discarding the Chandra instead of a land. Feels bad, man.
You wanna go, tough guy? This'll be easy.
Maybe I'm just supposed to down-tick and kill the Skyclave here. Yeah, I think if you can find decks like that you enjoy Precipice, that's a great way to approach it. For sure. Yeah, we should get the last of the historic anthology spoilers at some point in the next hour. And we'll definitely do a live review on stream like we have the last couple of days, and it'll go up on the YouTube channel in its own video if you miss it. Alright, Glorybringer here. My Twitch stream is pre-recorded in front of a live audience. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Giant dragons blowing through ya. We are going to lose Chandra here, unfortunately, but like, I have 2 4/4s, so. You also tracked down a source. I thought that they posted a update that said where all the spoilers were happening, and I thought they said we were getting all of them by today. I suppose I could have misread, but I thought the thing that said when all the spoilers were happening said we were getting all of them by today. The full spoiler is out on Monday. Okay, so maybe they're not. Maybe they're just giving us. I think we're missing like 7 cards still, so maybe we are only getting 3 or 4 again today, and then they're giving us the last couple on Monday. We're gonna miss like 3 or so. Okay, I just assumed that they were gonna give us all 7 today. So again, in these matchups where they're super creature based and we both have discard spells, I like to board all of my discard spells out and board in all of my spot removal and cards that play to the board. I'd even rather have a card like Cling to Dust that cantrips rather than a discard spell, because these games get into a spot like that last game where we're both basically empty-handed, we have stuff in play, and then when we're in a position like that, I want as many of my cards as possible to interact with their board. So one of Chaos Warp 4, it's like a random solve target problem. It's a card you could bring in against blue-white control that takes a Resolve Shark Typhoon off the table, and also like answers things like Teferi. The black cards that get rid of enchantments suck for the most part. So it's just like a card that gets rid of enchantments that's like not terrible. Yeah, it tags Klothys too, which can be quite annoying for archetype. Absurito, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel today. This might be greedy. Feels like them doing a whole lot of nothing is good for us here. They're almost assuredly an Ephemerate deck based on like these acquisition experts and stuff. A little surprised they're not playing Yorion. Alright, so do you have like second Ephemerate here? Nope. It's a good draw. Hellhaunt. With how aggressively they use that first one, I wonder if they have a second Ephemerate here. Grapple, thank you for the sub gifts. That's incredibly generous of you. Good morning, good morning. Is Elite Spellbinder the best white 3-drop ever? I think it's close with Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, I think those are both solid upgrades, James. I think those would be the two. Any new tech we're trying out? Nope, I'm pretty happy with this Grixis Dragons list. This is card for card, what's been up on my website for probably a couple of weeks now at this point. We'll definitely be adding Culligan's Command if we get that in the Historic Anthology. Hey, Toe Smasher, thanks for the 25 months. Good morning, good morning. No, I don't actually think Flicker Wisp is that good. Flicker Wisp is like contextually useful alongside things like, Aether Vial and other tools, but just like pound for pound, both Spellbinder and Skyclave Apparition are better, I think. Horizon Zero Dawn stops being free on PlayStation at 8 p.m. Pacific. Like, listen, chat, if you have a PlayStation and you don't have Horizon Zero Dawn, even if you're not going to play it in the short term, go add it to your account. It's easily my #1 video game of all time. Game is fantastic. This game isn't sponsored or endorsed by Horizon Zero Dawn, but I wouldn't say no to a free copy of the sequel when it comes out later this year. So, you know, hook it up. Thanks for the follows, Death Rags and Pez. Well. Read. Yeah, I played it on PC. Yeah, you get to keep it. So if you just like have it and add it to your account, you can play it whenever. Unfortunately, Nikki B is just gonna eat it here. I think we plus him on the off chance we draw like a Stomp here to keep him alive. So unfortunate that he's just going to die here, but Displacer's not a white 3-drop, it's colorless. That's true, it is devoid. He did gain us 5. Yeah, he Stone Rained them, drew a card, and gained us 5. So, like, you know, could be worse. Run it back now, y'all. Come on! 2-mana spot removal. 2-mana spot removal.
Will resonate throughout the multiverse. You have no weakness I cannot exploit.
It This land does at least cycle, yep. And this is why a lot of the times people ask, you know, why is this deck playing Mind Stone over something that makes colors of mana like Cold Steel Heart? And being able to cycle in the late game like this is a big deal. One card late, chat. Man, if we'd have gotten to untap with Daddy Bolas, been so good. That's fine. We're still ahead here. Well, at parity, I don't know that it's fair to say we're ahead anymore, but parity I think is accurate. Further behind. Nice. So this takes their card out of hand. This kicks to kill this. And then I have enough mana to flip this next turn. Sick. Yeah, Eldrazi Strangler, Wasteland Strangler. Wasteland Strangler is going to be very good in Historic when it's legal. With stuff like Spellbinder, it's absurd. Wouldn't it have been better to hit their face twice? Nah. I'd hit their face once, but then I'd draw some cards. Come on, chat, we're playing Grixis. We're here to draw cards, come on. Don't you tell me I shouldn't be drawing cards. It's not the Grixis way. Yes, Wasteland Strangler is also very good against adventures. Hello, youngest son.
$2020. 2021.
We are 2021 now, that's true. Listen, chat, I'm going to give you the most real piece of advice you're ever going to get. You'll never lose a game because you mulligan to 5 if you always keep 7. We'll win? You think so? I don't know. This is actually a quite bad matchup for us. Ugin is really good against our deck. Morning, Tyrion. It's a good peel. Let's cantrip here and see what we want to do. Okay. Shock this in and cycle the Canyon Slough. I've just trademarked this deck, and I'll need you to run an ad talking about how smart I am. God bless, I'll try.
Today's my lucky day.
Yikes. Well, I'm glad we looted through those. They didn't claim to own anything in particular. They were just very upset that I dislike the idea of deck ownership.
Yup, you're going down.
I will be better prepared next time.
Talking about deck ownership reminds me of watching coverage and the team going on about how this one pro's deck is innovative and is doing amazing and giving them all the credit. They ended up doing a deck tech with him and they asked him what made him come up with the idea and he says, I just copied a Moto 5.0 deck list. Yes. Exactly that. There's nothing original in the age of the internet, and that's okay, right? It's okay to just be like, I found this thing and I liked this thing that I found. So unfortunately, they have a Crawling Barrens in their mana. And they have 12 mana right now, so... yeah. This is where the magic happens, chat.
Hey! Watch it! Yup, you're going down.
Strive for balance in all things.
All right, so Crux of Fate comes out. Cling to Dust comes out. I like all of our discard spells. I like our shatters. I like our things that apply pressure. Chaos Swords probably not good enough. Obviously, Baleful Mastery probably comes out here too. I think a lot of times their planeswalkers come down. If they resolve, they're like beating us up. Want to cut Bloodchiefs? Yeah, Mastery's probably better than Bloodchiefs. I agree with that. Yeah, it's just like the whole deck ownership thing too is just like, if two people could come up with the idea of calculus simultaneously in parallel with each other, like, it's definitely very possible for multiple people to come up with this idea of and you get really toxic interactions a lot of the time where people are like, well, why didn't you give me credit for that, Jeff? I deserve credit for that. And it's like, well, I don't know where this deck list came from. A random Twitch viewer sent it to me and asked me if I'd play it, and we said yes because it looked neat. And like, even if they did get it from you, how do I know you didn't get it from someone else? How do I know that they didn't come up with it independently? Thanks for the follow, Grim Death. Good afternoon. I'm gonna wait a turn on this Thoughtseize. Give them more chances to draw cards that I care about. This is probably gonna be a spell this game. Honestly, I'm gonna wait one more turn on this. I'm gonna play the land and cycle the Slough. My opponents, the cards I really care about Thoughtseizing from my opponent don't cost more mana. Although them having a Thoughtseize is really punishing. What's going on, Jodel? Thanks for the 7 months. Yeah, getting punished for not being able to take the Ugin feels bad. Well, I mean, and honestly, you see those kind of parallels outside of Magic too, right? Like, people are like, oh, you can't cite reference materials. You have to have everything memorized and come up with it yourself. And it's like, well, what if we just had a bunch of reference materials? Would that be okay? Yeah, they discarded Ugin is a little strange. This means they have second Ugin. Okie doke. Did you ask for a timeout, Zaysegs? When you get timed out, you automatically lose your sword. And like, a matchup like that, this is the first time probably in my last dozen hours of playing Historic that I've played against an Ugin. Ugin's not super popular in the format, and I don't think you can really change this Grixis deck to be better against Ugin. You just don't have enough to consistently pressure to get under them, and playing a bunch of counterspells isn't good in most of our other matchups. I think you just punt those matchups. You know, your R B-list control deck is going to have a bad matchup against other B-list decks that play Ugin, and that's fine. That's just like how non-rotating formats work. You can't be good against everything. You're going to have something that ends up running you down. How far off do you think is Historic from Ugin being too slow? I think Ugin is largely too slow in this format as is. Ugin decks aren't very popular for a reason. They tend to really struggle against a lot of the faster both aggro and spell-based combo decks in the format. Ooh, Cling to Dust is a great draw against the Rogues deck. It is flavorful that our Nicol Bolas deck can't beat Ugin. That is true. I mean, this matchup isn't free. You can lose this matchup. It's a decent draw. Let's just double spell this turn. So do we cling this turn? Or do we Bolas? It might be right to just cling, honestly. I mean, if I Bolas, I killed their thing because they can push it. Yes, that's not good. A good call. Yeah, I've enabled Revolt for them this turn, so playing Bolas is not good. I should cling proactively in case they have into the story. Yeah, that's true. Just a 5 cards in bin. 6 cards in bin. This is 8, right? The bee's knees. Thanks for the follow. Good morning. Yep, I can take their Loris now. And then honestly, I think the argument... I think the play from here is we cling their Luris, so that way they can't peel Eggdoms and get back in the game that way. I'll just, like, slowly cut their outs off, how they rebuild. Gaining a little bit of life also doesn't hurt. Into the Story is 8, right? Oh, Into the Story is 7, you're right. Yeah, I should do it proactively because of Into the Story. It's a good call. It's really annoying that these cards care about your opponent's graveyard's cards have different numbers in them. Because you can't mental shortcut ever like these mana amounts go to these different things. From a muscle memory perspective, it's frustrating. Ooh, nice. We can clear Fatal Push here maybe before we stick Nikki Beam. Afternoon Hexy Witch. Okay, and they do have Into the Story now. They notably don't have Fatal Push, and they shuffled, so it's probably just gone. And taking their land isn't terrible here, because that stops them from having a 7 mana Into the Story. We're definitely a deck that's slow enough that 7 mana Into the Story can punish us. You'll note when I was clinging, I left Glorybringer in my graveyard as the 1 card, because Nicol Bolas the Ravager can bring back creatures. So leaving the Glorybringer in the bin was intentional there. This is how we've been boarding here, like a... Cling is very, very good in this matchup. Is Glorybringer better than Dragon God? Yeah, I think so. Being able to kill stuff on their board. Glorybringer's harder for them to remove. They basically need Drown in the Loch. Whereas Nicol Bolas Dragon God, they can just attack. Ooh, that was the perfect draw. We get Dragon Lord Silumgar, will we play it in this deck? Probably not. I think that's too much mana for not a good enough effect. Oh, well. The good news is their hand doesn't have any pressure in it. I think we take the Inquisition away so they don't have information about what we're doing. I'm playing the untapped land here because if they drew the 1 toughness Flash Idiot, I want to be able to stomp it right away before they untap. Wild Bip, thanks for the follow. Good afternoon. If the spoilers are up, feel free to post the link of spoilers in chat. But do not talk about what the cards are. I'd like to react to them live on stream. I'm not going to drop the match, so when they do go up, we'll get to them after I finish whatever current match I'm playing. But links are appreciated. I assume we're getting Cake Command today, based on how everything else is gone. It's been good, Navier. Still feels reasonably competitive. Huh. I think I just pass. Does Rogue shift into hard control post-board? They don't shift so much as this is just what a lot of their hands look like. Like, they board in, like, Negate and Dispute, but they have a lot of counters to start. They only have 12 actual threats, so, like, their draw range can vary a good bit. Some of their draws are very control heavy and some are not. Okay, I think I'm just playing a Bonecrusher Giant. We had 2 cards when they announced the Anthology, Vorinclex and the Human. Whirler Rogue, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, opponent got punished for their sequencing there. I can pay for Mystical Dispute here, so they have to lapse me. It should be 25 cards total, and there's the Anthology. Shuffler confirmed broken. Thank you for the 23 months. Welcome back. Technically, they could do both, sure. But, like, spending a Dispute to just make me sack a treasure isn't a very good exchange for them. Great. Like, second Dispute here? Sure. Still a 2 for 1. And they haven't shuffled, so they do still have Luris. They should have given us Remand Precipic, is what should have happened. Remand is what should have happened. I missed whatever was mentioned in chat, so we're okay. This is gonna put me to 7 cards in my bin, so they are gonna be able to cast it into the story for cheap. But they're also hopefully going to 4 with Bonecrusher in play, so like... Unfortunately, 1 land short of being able to cling this turn as well. Okay. Alright, well, they shuffled away their Luris. So obviously they could redraw it, but... They shuffled Luris. Yep, and this is why their deck is so good, chat. They had 1 window to into the story here, and they into the story. They're down to 2 though. Can cling to dust, fully punch the clock, and go to work. You think they're ahead? No, I don't actually think they're ahead at all. Like, I think we're close to parity. I think the cling to dust push us towards parity. Especially with like the Shadows Verdict in my hand here too. Ah, we're so close. So close. Ooh. All right. Oh, we're no, no. Oh shit. I don't know if we're gonna lose, but they took away my card that was gonna win. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of into, like, letting them have a turn with Soaring Thought Thief, because it gives me more stuff to draw with Cling, right? Oh, I should have left the castle up, right? I could have paid some life to draw a card here. It's a pretty big mistake. I think I'd definitely pay 3 to draw a card here. Given the current board state. You may have a little bit of mill as a treat. Yeah, exactly. Get that. Skillfully letting the opponent take lands off the top of our deck here. And then before we pass priority back here, I'm going to do this again right away, so that way they can't have a cheap into the story. Sure. Do this during the upkeep here. At some point, chat, we're gonna draw a Bonecrusher Giant, and it's gonna be great. But it won't be this turn. There's one Prismari Command and a Bonecrusher Giant in our deck still. Sick. That's great. Yeah, I love this. This Grixis deck is so much fun. Solid form. Thanks to 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Shuffler confirmed broken. Thanks for the 23. Cling is really good. Yeah. This deck has a genuinely good rogues matchup. High potential, maybe. All right, let's look at the spoilers. Hey, thanks for the sub gift on Turkey. And Mr. Bennett watch, thanks for the 14 months. All right. Dragonstorm. Search your library for a dragon permanent and put it onto the battlefield and then shuffle your library. Listen, chat. This card's not gonna be competitive, but man, are we gonna lose some games with Dragonstorm? This is a sweet addition to the format, and this is gas. Oh, you can Mizzix Mastery into this. Is this the best Storm payoff in Historic? Is this the best Storm payoff in Historic? Yeah, I think it is. I think this is the best Storm payoff in Historic. That's fantastic. Yeah, you just like go get some Terror of the Peaks or some other big things. Yeah, this is probably the best Storm payoff in Historic, and that's awesome. This is great. This format is such gasoline. Whoa! This card's really good. This card is really good. So five cards, you get a creature or land like consistency, new reanimator stuff. Yeah, Jund Storm Herald. Like this card's great. This is a good one. Holy crap, we got him, chat. We got him. Jin Gitaxis Core Augur. This card, we're talking about reanimator stuff with Grizzly Salvage. Jin Gitaxis. This is a heck of a payoff. The beginning of your end step, draw 7 cards. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7. Now this is a reanimator payoff. Gosh. Is Historic the best format Magic has ever had? Is it possible that this is the best format Magic has ever had? I really think it is. Like easily? Yeah, like just constructed format. Constructed format. Like it's just gasoline. Oh. And this is why, like, it's fantastic how they're sculpting Historic, right? Because, like, it's obvious with cards like this and cards like this that, like, they're printing these powerful things into the format, and it's just, like, adding Relic as a fantastic safety valve is great. And this is, the big reason I've bounced off of a lot of other non-Magic card games is you can put so many messed up, crazy things into Magic formats, so long as you have powerful answers to balance them too. And this card is much better than Scrabbling Claws, chat. For people that haven't played with this card before, this card is really good because it pressures their graveyard every turn it sits in play while also being a nuke. And it exiles everything, and it always draws a card. So you compare this to something like Soul Guide Lantern, where you have to choose between drawing a card and exiling their graveyard. It is worth noting that in order to nuke the whole graveyard, you do have to hold up an entire mana. Is relevant, but yeah, this is good. I like this. It hits your graveyard too. Yep, it means you can only really play this card in decks that aren't also using the graveyard. So like for example, it definitely makes rogues worse. Yeah. This card, you can exile your own graveyard slowly. You can like sit here and diddle on your own graveyard every single turn against rogues. You know, decks that have been jamming a bunch of Rest in Peace, something that was very common in like Legacy and Modern, for example, is you'd play some Rest in Peace and some Relic, so that way when you draw multiple of your graveyard hate cards post-board, you have some that can cycle. And that's why this card's so powerful too, right? Because like, it does what it does, but it's also just like 2 mana draw card, which means, you know, the downside to drawing multiple is pretty low. So yeah, so there's three cards that we don't know from the historic anthology. So we're getting 25 cards and 22 have been spoiled. And Culligan's Command is the only command that hasn't been spoiled yet from the con cycle. Listen to me, people that designed this historic anthology. If you built us up all week and then don't give us Culligan's Command, we're gonna be very upset. Don't you do it. If it's not there now, it better be there by Monday. You've been warned. All right, listen, chat. That would be something, right? If we just like didn't get, yeah, we haven't gotten Ellis Storm yet. So I wouldn't be nearly as upset about not getting Ellis Storm because we did get Jin-Gitaxias. So like, no Ellis Storm wouldn't make me sad, but Culligan's Command better be one of those 3 cards we haven't seen yet. Culligan's Command better be, I would be really mad, and then I would play more Magic. And remember, chat, if you want to watch a tournament with these cards the first weekend that they're legal, or play in a tournament where these cards are legal, the Glandia Open Series will be returning on May 30th. HA5 releases May 27th. We'll be playing a bunch on stream, and then the Open Series will be bringing you all of the historic action again on May 30th. This is easily the best historic anthology they've ever printed. Past historic anthologies haven't really been worth buying. This one is worth buying if you're playing historic. It's very good. I'd be mad and then I'd play more Magic. I felt this to my core. Well, I mean, you know. Yeah, I think that's true, Andrew. I think they didn't really know where the power level of the format was at, and I think they now understand that they can push the power level a little bit, which is awesome. BT Dubs, I mentioned this on stream, but I haven't mentioned it a ton. Covert Go Blue will be joining me again for the next Hoaglandia Open. Excited to have him back to do coverage with. Be my partner in crime on the 30th. Game 1 Grafdigger's Cage. Who hurt you, opponent? What was their name? Nicol Bolas. So nice, we'll draw him thrice. If they draw an untapped white source, we could see Wrath of God next turn. It would be sick if we got Lingering Souls. Nothing concede. Oh, Esper. Oh, Esper. Grixis is the superior control color, chat. That was going to be our last one with Grixis, but now I'm going to do one more. Now I'm going to do one more. Scream of Extreme. Thank you for the 25 months. Welcome back. We're going to be playing Dead Guy Ale after this one. This is our last deck of the day. For a fantastic Friday. They're a good replacement for Crux of Fate. Yeah, you can play Shadow's Verdict or Ritual Assault. Just make sure whatever cards you replace it with doesn't kill your 4/4s. Is basically what you wanna look for. Opponents got Spirit, yes they do. I'll take Lofty Denial here, I think. And this one's taking Curious Obsession. CGB is returning for the next open. Alright, untap Liam, please. It hurts, but wish granted. Do that before they can untap and draw something. We get another untapped land here. We get to Nikki Beam. Alright, untapped land one more time. Come on, can we do it again? Can we do it again? That's really good. It could have been right to Crux there, yeah. This is again another matchup where we want our cards that play to the board. Shadow's Verdict sounds good. I'm gonna trip Nicol Bolas. He's a little bit expensive. Cling doesn't do much here, and I think Thoughtseize comes out. I'll keep these because they don't hurt us, and like poking through some of their counterspells post board sounds good, but again, I just want as many cards as possible to kill their creatures that they're playing out. That was a clutch game, real close. Opponent flooded a little bit at the end there, which was helpful. A little speculative, but this could break up their curve potentially, and then maybe we survive to get to here. Draw lands or spells. I think SCG and other independent tournament organizers would be very silly not to invest in historic events when it comes out. Mamad, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Will historic be playable in paper? Yeah. Chat, you can play whatever formats you want in paper. Yes, Mind Stone was very good. People ask about cutting the Mind Stones. Play the Mind Stones, chat. They're great. I ain't proud, chat. Get rid of the non-dragon creatures. Just spend your mana. Untapped land here would be great, so I could Inquisition into Crux. I think this is a spell. Maybe that's wrong, because I could Inquisition plus Glorybringer next turn if I play the land. Oh god, this is a concession banger? I think this is probably a concession banger, right? I think Dragonstorm's probably the best storm payoff in Historic. Sweet. Yeah, I don't really have any changes with this. So we didn't get Culligan's command today. They're teasing us, chat. If we get Culligan's command, I think we probably cut, like, I would start with cutting 2 Prismari commands and like a Crux of Fate. I think it's possible that 5 sweepers in the 75 is too many anyways. So like, it might be that I want to take this and turn it into another Prismari command for the time being, but that I do think Culligan's command will be an upgrade to Prismari command. Well, obviously it's not a strict upgrade in every instance. Yeah, you need 4 of this card. You also like, if we're adding Culligan's command to our deck, you don't want to cut creatures that you want to be, getting back with Culligan's command to, like, play Culligan's command. So, yeah, that's my thought. I'm going to update the list on the site to trim a Crux of Fate and play another Prismari command. And then if we get Culligan's command on Monday, that's probably what slots in over here. Yep. So let's restart the client here real quick and get that update that it was bugging us about, huh? Peak Magic Arena, is it telling me I need to restart my client to download an update?